Do you know, I bet you haven't seen one of these since Bob was a lad. And I've got no idea what that means. Howdy, hello. And if you watch the channel religiously, which I know a lot of people do, this channel is a religion. You'll know I've been not making any videos for quite some time. I did put out a video about 4 months ago saying that sometimes it's very, very difficult, and I can't always promise to be chucking out the material that I am doing, and I'm afraid this week has been one of those weeks. It's not that I haven't wanted to, and it's not that I haven't tried to, because I have. I've come in, tried to do some work, but sometimes, you know, when you're just not 100%, you're not 100%. And this week has been a real trying week. And I know other people that get in contact with me on the channel going through similar sort of stuff. But anyway, let's just move on. I just thought it's Friday night, and it's what, 8:30? Just gone 8:30. And I thought I'd got to do something. It's still ridiculously warm in the workshop. Let me get rid of the 3 camera setup because we don't want that. There we go. And I thought we'd have a bit of fun, bit of retro Friday night. I say retro, and this is retro because it's got to be coming on to, well, somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. I would say closer to 20 than 15. Have a look at this. It's actually in mint condition. For those people that watch this channel in the UK, some of you, well, this is going to bring back some memories if you have been watching the channel for quite some time, because when was the last time you saw something as wonderful as that? Let me just lift this microphone up. Yes, that's right. I'm so special I can film with microphones. Egypt. There you go. It's a Matsui. This is the sort of thing Dixon's would sell. As I say, if you live in the UK, you'll remember Dixon's, big high street store, until they weren't a big high street store, until the internet took over, I suppose, and they had to go. I think Dixon's has come back online. I think so. But this was kind of one of their own branded basic TVs, and I'm thinking this is circa 2006, 2008, somewhere around there. It was the cheapest of any sort of 15-inch flat screen that you could buy at the time. Now this is in amazing condition. It's had one lady owner, and it's been in her bedroom for 15 years. And it still actually powers up and does what it's supposed to do. But occasionally, or in fact quite hello, I can't speak, I'm sorry, it's the medication. Quite often it just makes some noises, and the picture starts doing silly things after about 1 or 2 minutes. Now, it could be something like the processor on this, which is just burning out now. But when I went round to see it, it was absolutely fine. The sound blipped a few times, but it was absolutely fine. But I left the lady a loan set, and she's fallen in love with a loan set because it's been working fine this week, and she's fed up with this going blip, blip, blip. She still wants me to have a look at this, but this is technically, as I'm sure you will know and you will understand, this is just not worth looking at. I would imagine it cost something like 80 quid back in the day, and I don't think it's worth spending any money on. So all I'm going to do, just for the sake of recording some videos tonight and remembering how to edit, because it's amazing when you've had 4 days off, you just forget how things work. These did suffer with quite poor power supplies. How this has lasted so long, well, let me plug it in and show you that it does work. I think that's only fair. I'm not going to hook it up to a source, but I'll plug it in. We have got the remote control for it somewhere, but we ain't going to bother with that. Let me switch it on. Is there a master switch somewhere? I think there is on these. Because I'm not actually getting standby light. Yeah, there. That's the master switch. And I've just switched it off. Oh, isn't that bizarre? Switching it on. Have I plugged this in? Yes, it's plugged in and switched on. Oh, that's fantastic. I can't see a standby light. I'm just going to switch all the lights off a second. There is absolutely nothing. Now, isn't that bizarre? Because this TV has been working religiously. That's the infrared sensor for 15 odd years, and now I've just come to check the power supply and it's died. How is that possible? There's the standby light, but it blooming well has. So I was just going to look at the power supply. The lady doesn't want it back, which is just as well now, because I don't think it's going to be going back. But let's have a look. While I'm just taking these screws out, can I just say a massive thank you. The last video I made, I just spoke about, you know, the cups of coffee money, which is a bit of a lifesaver for the channel. We didn't do too well last year. I hate talking about it because it always sounds like I'm begging, but my goodness, were you very generous this month. Thank you. I think we did about 150, 180 pounds. I'm not precise, but all that came in very quickly. And one person made I don't know if it was a 50 or an 80 pounds donation. And I'm not going to say who it was, just in case you don't want a name check. But, and at the moment I can't remember anyway. But yes, thank you very much for that, especially over the forthcoming weeks, when I can't promise that there's going to be the amount of content that there has been over the last few months. The next few weeks, well, not few weeks, but the next few months are going to be, they're going to have a massive question mark. As I say, I love doing this. I hope I continue to come and do it, but we don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for your generosity. For those people that have bought the channel a cup of coffee, and that's all that I ask, is really, really amazing. Thank you. I've got a funny feeling that this is going to be one of those TVs, if I remember, where the screen comes out from the front. Does that make sense to you? Have I got all the screws out now, missus? Yes, I think I have. So this should really... There we go. I said... What did I say? Did I not say something similar? Probably there's a screw here that I haven't taken out. Nope, that's out. I'm not the... Just bear with me, it's just stuck. I'm not the sort of person that would leave screws in, really, am I? You're quite aware of that. Right, screws around the screen. It's a bit of an old fuddy-duddy, old-fashioned thing, this. But these be a couple of caps. I think they were 1,000 microfarad, 25 volts, that would go on the power supplies that were put into these sort of machines. But it's really bizarre how this woman has had it working perfectly for 18 years, and it had just got a little glitch, and I've got my hands all over it, and now it's got a big glitch. Hey ho. So let's have a look at the power supply. Let's see if it's worth sticking any caps in. It probably isn't. Let me have a look at the best way to remove the screen. Can disconnect the backlights first, which is underneath here. I don't want to come off. Just have a look at this screen plug a minute. Here we go. That should mean that the screen comes out. Oh, apart from that, which is a little earthing screw hidden down here. I'll just remember that for later, but now what screen have they used? A BOE? No. Doesn't mean anything to me either. And here is the power supply. Hey ho. So let's lift it out. I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but I left the lady alone set, a nice Samsung 24-inch, and she's fallen in love with it, because obviously it's going to have a better picture than this, but that's by the by. And so she's bought that one now, so she doesn't really want this one back, but I said if it is possible, I will. Well, the caps are looking all right on this, amazingly. I'll just zoom in on that, just in case there's a couple I can't see and you can see them better. I was expecting to see a couple that had blown their tops, but they haven't. So I'm not going to take this any further. It's this TV, and I'll be surprised if anybody disagrees with me, but please do. It's a bin job. I'm surprised it's not coming on. But I didn't want to put my name to a repair of this, only because of its age. I have to give a year's warranty with my work, and I don't think something that's of this standard really is capable of lasting another year. Well, it may not be working again for some particular reason. I don't know why it is, but for some particular reason it has died, even though the last time I saw this it was working fine and I couldn't find a fault with it. But it is just too old, isn't it? It is, I'm afraid, a bit on the old side. I'm just going to see if there's any voltage in that cap, and then I'm going to plug it in and just see if any voltage comes out of that cap. We're not on volts, are we? But we are now. Is it reading anything? No, but that is volts. Oh, that is DC. Okay. So let me plug it in and see if anything comes up on that. Are you ready? Just a quick reminder, please don't try this at home. Unless your name's Liz Truss, then please do try it. Yeah. So power's getting to the cap. The standby light, I'm guessing, is there. So let me just... I'm still plugged in, so I'm just going to unplug for a second. All right, mate. So that's the standby light just there. and it's now on. Look at that. That wasn't on before, was it? Okay. Oh, how weird. I told you it was working. It's looking fine now. Look at that 4K picture. Give me a minute to slot it all back together and then we'll plug it in again. And of course it won't work when I plug it in the next time. The next time you see it, it won't be working. I've just got it roughly in place. I'll put all the screws back in a second, but basically that just goes to the top now anyway. Yeah. But I just want to see if that light comes back on again. Bear with me. Yeah, it does. So if I press the on button, it turns blue. Sorry you didn't see it. But the light, oh no, you did see it. The light has turned blue. There we go. We've got a picture now. I don't know why that didn't happen before, but it didn't happen before. Light's coming back on. Let me wiggle and jiggle this back into position. So we've got a red standby light. We definitely didn't have that red standby light earlier. We didn't. I don't care what you say. When I watched the video back on later on tonight, I bet you that there was a red... No, there wasn't, because we pressed the button. I say we. I blame you entirely on this. But we pressed the buttons. Screen's got a bit of bleed at exactly the same place down the sides. Not the sort of thing anybody else would notice. You probably didn't notice it until I pointed it out to you. Probably, kind of. Probably noticing all the 4K dust, but you know, it's been in a respectable lady's bedroom for the best part of 20 years. So I'm going to just push it over a cliff. I'm going to push it over there, and I'll put a feed onto it and just monitor it for the next couple of days. But why for? Because if it starts going glitchy, it doesn't look like it's a power supply issue. She's got a TV. I don't think she wants this back now. I definitely can't charge her for it. I mean, it's not worth it. As soon as you take money for something like this, you're making a rod for your own back. Is that the saying? Yes, I think that's the saying. And if it goes wrong in a few months' time, it's, oh, well, I think it's what you did last time. Not that she would do that, but you know, there are certain customers. If ever any of you have worked in this sort of business or any similar sort of business, if you were the last person to touch it, it's all your fault. Seem very unfocused. But anyway, I just wanted to do a little video tonight, and there it is, a little Matsui. I'm guessing it's circa 2000, and my goodness, that is unfocused. Why is that so unfocused? Here we go. I'm guessing it's 2006. I'm sure these are the ones that were in Dixon's around 2006. But in a way, it's still working. Maybe it's the, let me bring the camera down. Yeah. Maybe it's the, it goes unfocused when I stop doing that. It's the only one in the UK that's working, so I can't throw it. Maybe I'm going to have to find a use for it. I mean, it doesn't look like it on the camera, but it is technically widescreen. Not the widest of widescreens, but it is technically widescreen anyway. Nice to talk to you again. Thank you very much for all your support. For all those people that do want to buy me a cup of coffee, If you have, again, thank you very much. I'm not asking for it again, but for those people that would like to contribute to the channel, it really is appreciated at the moment. And I'll put up the PayPal site so you can buy me a cup of coffee. And I really do need a cup of coffee, actually. I really fancy a cup of coffee. In the old days, I used to say, what did I used to say? I'm going to go to Costa. But I think that's being a bit cheeky, because by the time you've had a cup of coffee in Costa, and don't get me on the price of living at the moment. I mean, I shop at Lidl, and that's becoming very expensive. But somebody did send me a Costa voucher, and it was a viewer that sent me a Costa voucher to the value of £20. And I treated myself to a cup of coffee, a cake, a soup, and a toasted sandwich. And I thought that would be about 10 quid. I thought I'd have to come back the next day. But no, that was 18 quid. And shopping at the moment is just absolutely incredible. I'm going to sound like an old woman, but it's it's struggling. Anyway, this is working. I've repaired it, so that'll be £120, please. Thank you.